Hey YouTube, so this episode is for all of you owners out there who have reactive dogs, and it is really common, so first things first, don't feel alone.
Literally, we've been there, we've seen it, we work with owners like you each and every day. Dogs, like Easy, very vigilant, very aware, very awake to what's going on in their environment, quite quickly can go down the wrong path when actually as owners we haven't quite found the right path for us, the right games for us. You're here at Absolute Dogs. We are literally the home of what we would call naughty but nice. That's reactive dogs, dogs that maybe chase things, lunge, bark, dislike dogs, maybe worry about people. That is your home. It's our home. It's literally the space for reactive dogs.
And the first thing to realise, I guess, is that we can put all kinds of labels of how this is a bad behaviour and a problem behaviour and a behaviour problem, but the reality is that actually your dog is reactive. That means that they are reacting. That means that they are alive. And it might be that actually they need to be a little bit more reactive to us than reactive to the environment. So our first tip is actually invest in getting your reactive dog really focused on you. It'll make your life a lot easier.
When we're thinking focus, tip 2 is very, very quick because actually it's ditch the bowl. Yeah. You can see I've got her food here. It's some of her daily allowance. I've got that so that I'm able to work with it. I'm not going to feed her right now. She's definitely doing what we would call action prompting, which is telling me to get on and feed her. But she would be earning food like this on a day-to-day basis for doing very simple things, just like Tom said, interacting with me, and I've got that level of currency, that level of communication with her through ditching the bowl. She would be getting it anyway. She'd be getting it on the floor, and most of you guys are giving your dogs your food in this way. Ditch the bowl today as a very, very basic premise. Literally, for me, it's something so easy, so doable, so achievable to everybody's day. So ditch the bowl.
Third thing is get familiar with your dog's bucket. Now you're thinking, what do you mean bucket? Well, every dog has a bucket, and it might be big, it might be small.
In fact, isn't there a YouTube on this?
I think there is, we can link it below. And exciting things pay into the bucket, scary things pay into the bucket, and these are just day-to-day events. Now when your dog reacts, that's that bucket overflowing. But what you've got to realize is that actually it's not overflowing necessarily just because of the thing that they just saw, but all of the things that happened that day, the day before, and the day before that. And so what you might benefit from doing is actually simplifying their life, reducing the amount of things that go into the bucket. It might be that those 2 hours of walks a day where your dog's, reacting to everything and then you're chasing the tennis ball for them, that might be contributing to the struggle.
I think, Tom, that's the thing to consider, that you might think that bucket filling is something bad, like, I don't know, say going to the vets and your dog having an injection that they don't like. That could be like a typical thing that people might think bucket filling. Bucket filling could be as simple as, get it, actually playing for a long, long time, or taking your dog, thank you, down, get it, to agility. And they're racing around, or maybe they're doing obedience or other things, down, thank you.
It can fill with good things and bad things.
Yeah, good things, and I think that was the thing that probably woke me up to it at first, was good things can fill it. So things that you're taking your dog out for, thinking they're going to be really, really a positive bucket experience, whereas actually they are filling that bucket, and you might have just intended good things, and they might even look like good things, right? Like agility for her is really fun, but I also know it's quite bucket filling. So I have to be careful how I do it, when I do it, where I do it, and how much of it I do in close proximity to the next event.
Next tip is that your dog might not know best, okay? And that's really important when we're thinking about this. I know. And
she's like, what?
She would be really excited to go for 10 walks a day. Would that help her bucket? Absolutely not. Would that make her more reactive? Absolutely it would. Equally, it might be that your reactive dog seems to want to go and visit other dogs right now, and then arrives at the other dog and goes, I don't like you. Yeah? And the point is that they don't, they don't always know best, and sometimes what we have to do is guide their decisions and almost make the decisions so that they don't make the wrong decision. Take some responsibility away from them until they've got the skills to take that responsibility.
My next tip would be homeschool your reactive dog. So homeschool your reactive dog, knowing that homeschooling is often and almost always a really safe option. And when I say homeschool, so many people, I know when I sort of grew up into dog training, it would be take your dog out, make sure you see black dogs, make sure you see big dogs, make sure you see dogs with funny tails, like literally see every dog that you can go out and show them and make sure they've seen all the dogs. And if your dog doesn't like, say, my dog didn't like Poppy, my naughty but nice dog didn't like large, normally dark coloured dogs. So Tom's black poodle was like her nemesis. Basically, you'd be told to go and see those dogs. We'd tell you the exact opposite. We'd say homeschool your dog. We'd say put your dog in a confidence space. Allow your dogs to practice confidence, because what they practice, they become. We'd say make sure that your dog is really comfortable in their learning. Make sure they understand what you're doing at home. Play games like us at Absolute Dogs, Games Mastery and Games Clubs. Play games with your dogs, because dogs literally thrive on games-based, concept-based learning. The coolest thing I would say about homeschooling is you become your master trainer. So homeschool your dogs. There are so many of our videos here on YouTube. We've got courses online. We've got so much you can take. For reactive dogs, stop putting them in class situations. Stop forcing dogs on them, and actually take a step back and look at what you can do at home. Even if you haven't got a big garden, because I can hear you going, I haven't got a big garden. You don't need a big garden. All you need is a little bit of space to train fitness, something smaller than this. It can be your kitchen, it can be your living room, it could be your hallway, your porchway, your bathroom. Something smaller than this, a little bit of fitness, a little bit of some of the close proximity games-based learning we do. It doesn't have to be a walk, right, Tom? Homeschooling works.
Absolutely. Final tip for you guys is distance yourself from the naysayers, okay? Protect yourself, because you find that when you have a reactive dog, there'll always be somebody nearby who will say, oh, you know, that's what Jack Russells are like, you'll never fix that.
Or they might be telling you to use aversive methods, right? They might say that actually there are prongs and shocks and really sort of tough stuff out there that's going to solve it. This is going to be really difficult,
it's going to be really challenging. Oh, there's no hope of changing that. You know what, we got told that tens and tens of times ourselves before we discovered this, and equally, you've probably been told that many times as well.
We want to shortcut this for you. There is no point you going down the paths that we've been down and actually discovered that those things aren't only pretty disappointing, but actually put you in a completely different learning space, whether that's somebody that you're working with that's fairly naysayer and negative, or whether it's a friend or a family member who's naysayer and negative. Literally distance yourself. There's a better way. Now, if you know someone with a reactive dog, or if you know of a reactive dog in your neighborhood and you feel this might help, share it, share it, share it. It's free. It's literally abundant here. Like, take the learning. We want this to literally go viral for reactive dogs all over the world.
So with that, guys, that was this episode of Absolute Dogs TV. We will see you next time, YouTube. And remember that below this video is an opportunity for you to influence the next video. So make sure to comment.